It was supposed to be a night of triumph, elegance, and global adoration. Another carefully staged chapter in Meghan Markle's ongoing campaign to reclaim her place among the world's elite. Instead, the 2025 Time 100 Gala delivered a brutal and very public reality check. What unfolded on the red carpet was not a coronation, but a quiet, cutting humiliation that no amount of PR spin could undo. Dressed in a custom Ralph Lauren gown, flanked by a private entourage trained to shield and elevate her, Meghan swept into the event expecting the sea of flashbulbs, gasps of admiration, and deferential smiles that had once been her due. She carried herself with the air of a woman who still believed she was royalty, not just by marriage but by destiny. Yet fate had a different plan that evening, embodied in one small but seismic interaction with an unlikely adversary, Simone Biles. According to multiple eyewitnesses, Meghan approached the Olympic icon with her signature polished smile, subtly but unmistakably signaling her royal status in her introduction. Simone, however, made no pretense of playing along. She greeted Meghan warmly, but plainly, no titles, no bowing to the ghost of royal privilege. She simply called her Meghan, as one equals another. The tension that followed was immediate and electric. Meghan's smile faltered mid-sentence, her eyes narrowed. She paused, waiting, almost daring Simone to correct herself. When it didn't happen, something fractured in that moment, and the cameras caught it. Nearby photographers reported a sharp mutter from Meghan as she turned on her heel, face frozen in a mask of injured pride. Some claimed they heard her hiss under her breath. Handlers rushed to her side, but the damage was done. In a world where perception is power, Meghan had just lost a battle she didn't even know she was fighting. And she had lost it in front of the very crowd she so desperately sought to impress. Throughout the night, Meghan struggled visibly to recover her poise. While true powerhouses like Taraji P. Henson, Michael J. Fox, and Patrick Mahomes mingled with effortless ease, she hovered at the edges, whispering furiously to her aides, declining group photos unless specifically requested, retreating again and again into private corners. Witnesses described her as increasingly tense, her gaze frequently darting toward the laughing clusters gathered around Simone Biles. Clusters she once would have assumed would be centered around her. The irony could not have been sharper. Simone, with no royal title, no global PR machine, commanded respect and admiration simply by being herself. Resilient, genuine, grounded. Meghan, by contrast, appeared desperate to cling to a crumbling myth that a duchess's title, worn like an invisible crown, was enough to secure reverence forever. Insiders at the gala noted that the shift around Meghan had been building for months, perhaps even years. "It's not that people are rude to her," said one Hollywood veteran. "It's worse. They're indifferent. The magic wore off, and she didn't even notice." In an industry where status is constantly re-earned through hard work and authenticity, Meghan's reliance on past glories and self-styled victimhood narratives was beginning to look hopelessly outdated. Throughout the evening, photographers noted that Meghan repeatedly glanced toward Simone and her growing circle of admirers, her expression darkening with each passing hour. Where once Meghan had been the gravitational center of such events, now she orbited the true stars, unacknowledged, uninvited, and visibly unsettled. Some guests speculated quietly whether Meghan would even complete the evening or leave early to avoid further public humiliation. But it wasn't just her interactions with Simone that told the story. Time and again during the night, other honorees bypassed Meghan without so much as a second glance. Conversations swirled around real achievements, groundbreaking work, athletic triumphs, scientific innovations, and Meghan's narrative of royal grievance and personal struggle no longer seemed to fit. In a room full of doers, her brand of storytelling fell flat. Behind the scenes, murmurs grew louder. Was Meghan's brand finally collapsing under the weight of its own contradictions? Had the endless reinventions, from actress to duchess to activist to media mogul, finally lost their luster? And worse, did Meghan herself realize how precarious her standing had become? Or was she still trapped inside a narrative no longer aligned with the world outside? As the gala drew to a close, Meghan and her entourage slipped quietly into the night, a stark contrast to the confident arrival just hours before. Cameras barely registered her exit, No triumphant photos adorned the next morning's headlines. Instead, the story that emerged was one of discomfort, rejection, and an undeniable fall from grace. In a world obsessed with authenticity, Meghan Markle had found herself adrift, a living emblem of an ambition disconnected from reality, a symbol of how quickly the golden aura of celebrity can tarnish when it is not rooted in genuine achievement. And as she retreated behind the tinted windows of her waiting car, one question lingered among those who had watched it all unfold. Had Meghan finally realized that no crown, no title, and no carefully curated image could protect her from the cold, unforgiving judgment of a world that had quietly, but decisively moved on?